Hello guys, welcome to SteveKnows. I'm back on camera, but don't look at me. So this is all about VR. We're going to go over the new stories in the virtual reality space that have occurred this week, some nice insights, some new games, and some extra bits as well. So I think that is enough chin wagging. Let's get started. So this story, let's take a moment to thank virtual reality for console advancements. It seems that the PlayStation 5's haptic triggers came from testing prototypes for the PlayStation VR controllers, and if you have a PlayStation 5 and you're into the console space, you'd know how epic this DualSense controller is, and those haptics in that controller where you can feel things like the rain and tension, and in the triggers you can feel the vibration of a gun trigger. When you're firing a machine gun, you can feel each bullet coming out of the chamber, or you can feel the weight of something, how heavy it is. As the trigger adds more resistance, it's really immersive, and I've always thought I cannot wait to try this in virtual reality, which now I know that's where it's come from. So bring on 2022, where I can try new virtual reality hardware combined with the PlayStation 5's power, studios from Sony and their IPs. VR, VR in for a treat. Yeah, that was embarrassing. So next we have Decagear, the amazing company that had solved the issue with hand or head tracking that we experience when playing VR games, which, if you've not heard of this yet, Decagear, they have an app which you can download called the Deca Move. It is free, that you'll install on your phone, and you'll then use your phone on your hip, or you'll just put it in your pocket, and it will enable hip locomotion, meaning your orientation and your movement is going to be dictated by your hips, just like in real life. So playing just feels more natural. It's so much better. So download that if you're into PC VR. You've not tried it yet. It's worth it. But Decagear, they also have a VR headset which is supposed to be revealed this weekend, and it's going to happen inside VR chat. So you're going to be able to attend an event, view and fiddle with a 3D model, a representation of this 4K headset priced at a reasonable $450. And if this headset has the specs that they claim, it's going to be an absolute bargain. So this is going to be happening at the VKet6, a Japanese festival in VR chat. So I'll link to their Twitter down below so you can check the channel out, because it's full of instructions on how to attend the event if you're interested in checking out Decagear, or just going to a VR Japanese festival that's on for 2 weeks straight. Okay, so last week we had the creepy Oculus eyes watching us through their headset. Then what popped up? Only Sony with a pattern for an external display as well. Do these guys, do they talk to each other? It's a slightly different pattern and take on it though. So Facebook's idea was bringing social presence to an otherwise isolating experience. So this external PlayStation display works slightly differently. It has two uses. The first of which, it has internal cameras that can show the emotion of the user on that external display when you're not playing a game. And the second is, it can act as like Oculus have the casting screen. So people on the outside can see what you're playing and what you're viewing. It's going to use eye tracking to determine where you're looking and then display what you're looking at on the outside of that display. So be very careful when playing something you shouldn't be in front of people you shouldn't be. But having a display on the front of the headset, I don't see as being very handy when you're looking around and moving around in virtual reality. That screen is going to be moving all over the place. This pattern is called the Display Screen Front Panel with HMD for viewing by users viewing the HMD player. And I don't know why that name cracks me up. I just find it so amusing. It's just incredibly long-winded. I don't expect this to be a feature on the PlayStation VR 2. I think this is just a pattern to get it out there, because it would make the headset very expensive, and a feature at this moment in time in VR, it just seems completely unnecessary to me. Some fantastic news now. Recently, Facebook had enabled the Passthrough APIs in their SDK, so developers can make AR content. This content that they are going to be creating though would be experimental, because it's not like an official rollout. For you to enjoy these experimental games that use these APIs, you do have to enable it in the headset, as they are experimental features. It's just a simple ADB command. But already a game has arrived on SideQuest using this API called Cactus Cowboy, which you may have come across before. There is another game that isn't using the pass-through, but this version, the AR version, is using the pass-through Passthrough, and it has created this wave shooter that is used in the environment around you. Annoyingly, it doesn't allow you to screen capture or record the Passthrough, I believe for security reasons, so I'm unable to show you the Passthrough at work, but I can link down below to the game so you can install this and try it for yourself. It's nothing mind-blowing, as I said, it's just a wave shooter, but it's a nice glimpse into the Quest 2, also being used as an AR device. The pass-through quality, it still sucks though. And to add on to this, if you are a developer or you just want to learn how to create content using this API, I stumbled across a channel called Dilma. He has a channel educating you on setting up the pass-through APIs in Unity, and also showed what mixed reality content could look like in the real world when using these features and these APIs, and it looked so awesome seeing him in his room in a real environment, moving virtual objects around in mixed reality. The potential for this in the future is so exciting, so I'll link that down below as well. So the Oculus Quest 2 is getting its first timed exclusive After the Fall, a multiplayer cross-platform experience that I and many others are so excited for. We recently got some news about the game being delayed, which is poop, but apparently, I didn't know this at the time, it's going to be a timed Quest 2 exclusive when it's released later this year, with an expected release date for the original Quest to be in 2022, but due to the hardware limitations, the optimization is much tougher. So their statement was, by splitting off the release of this version, we are able to spend more time on the necessary optimization for it, whilst taking away further pressure on our development schedule for the other platforms. Which is great to see. The developers, they easily could have let this game just be a Quest 2 exclusive, much like Resident Evil 4 is, but they decided, no, everyone must be able to play this game, so they're putting in the extra effort for the minority group now. It's sad to say I am an original Quest owner, but the original Quest is the minority now. The Quest 2 is the majority of the market. So a very consumer-friendly move from the developers there, and for that, I thank you for being inclusive. So now, thanks to an Oculus blog post, we now have more information on Tales from the Galaxy's Edge Part 2, a Star Wars title for VR that I'm sure many of you are excited for, giving fans more insights with its teaser trailer, which showed no VR content, sadly. I was a bit gutted by that. And this game, I want to be excited, but for me, I don't know, I'm not that excited about this game. Due to my experience for the first part, I may try it just to see if this is any different, but I'm not that excited anymore. But I know this game has mixed reviews, so let me know down below how you felt about this game. Some people loved it, some people hated it. It's Marmite. And they did say that this game is going to be released this fall, so a month or two away, and we should be able to experience Tales from the Galaxy's Edge Part 2. You know who isn't shy of confidence? That is Boss Tank, always throwing out great leaks and clues or interesting information during his AMAs. So Facebook, they had been saying, for virtual reality to become a sustainable ecosystem for developers, we need 10 million users, which we are closely approaching. So when someone asked in an AMA about the target user base, Bosworth did respond saying, you know, I'm not going to answer this question because I don't know the answer to it. But we are doing really well. When we set the goal about our user base and talked about it at Connect, we had a time frame in mind, and I am very convinced it's going to happen much earlier than we had initially expected. But when did you initially expect, Boz? And with the Quest's release being rather recent in the grand scheme of things, and VR Steam users hitting 2.8 million active accounts on Steam, not including those who have only standalone devices, the Quest 1 and the Quest 2, and the fact that Facebook had to produce 4 million silicone interfaces for the US alone, we must be approaching that large user base, and it's a great, glorious thing to imagine. I'm so happy to hear this. Now, a new type of game, and since lockdown is being lifted and people are socializing more often, why not take your virtual reality experience to another level and make the anti-social experience to the non-VR users more social? As Space Pirate Arena will bring you to co-locate and play VR together. Dirk van Welden shared some information on the release of this game, which is a multiplayer shooter that will convert your play space into a scaled, one-to-one scaled arena for the ultimate immersive experience that you can have at home. This tweet is broken into 6 sections, so I'm just going to pull out the bits of information that are interesting. So the game is going to require a 10 by 10 meter play space, and it will not boot up. unless you have that play space available, which is a huge space. In England, that's going to be tough to find. It's going to be a whole new kind of experience apparently as well, and it is going to have a single player mode in case you have no friends, and the release date and details are going to be coming very soon as well. Something I'm very interested in is that they said that they had problems with one-to-one movement in VR, and I'd love to know more about that and their struggles, as you have to create movement to scale, translating the real world into the virtual world. And I'm curious, what problems did they have? Because if that's broken, if that doesn't work properly, the whole game is messed and people can have some serious accidents. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing this game being played at gaming events as well, where it's BYOQ, bring your own Quest. That's my bachelor party sorted as well. That's a good idea, actually. Yeah. A sad story, I'll just come out and say it. Lone Echo 2 is delayed, and if you don't know of this game, play the original. It is a virtual reality staple for great storytelling and immersion. And its sequel, Lone Echo 2, has just been delayed, thankfully, not into 2022. It's a small delay, just to later on this year, which I'm okay with. It's just slightly upsetting because the original release date was going to be the 24th of August, which is just less than 2 weeks away. I've said it a million times, and I'll say it one more. Delays like this, I am okay with. In virtual reality, first impressions seem to hit harder. So if we get a buggy release, the word spreads like crazy and people don't give the game a second chance, even if you fix all of those issues. So get the game right and we can enjoy the experience how it's supposed to be experienced. Liv and Jack, I'll be waiting. So that's it from me today, guys. Thanks for watching to the end of the video, getting caught up on the latest and greatest in the virtual reality space. Please consider subscribing and joining me next time, and I hope you have a great weekend. Happy gaming, guys. Good day.